Against popular belief, X-rays were not discovered by a scientist chasing a grand medical breakthrough. They were discovered because something glowed when it absolutely shouldn't have. No prophecy, no master plan, just confusion in a dark lab. And it only gets stranger from here. Imagine a world where doctors had no way to see inside the human body. Broken bones were guessed by touch. Bullets were found by probing wounds. If something was wrong inside you, the only way to know was to open you up and look. Medicine worked, but it was slow, painful, and sometimes terrifying. Now picture one man, late at night in 1895, working alone, wrapped in silence, probably hungry, probably tired, absolutely not expecting to rewrite medical history. This is not how revolutions usually start. At first, the story sounds very normal. Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen was a respected German physicist studying cathode rays, streams of electrons moving through glass vacuum tubes. Other scientists were doing similar experiments, nothing exotic, nothing dangerous. Röntgen even covered his glass tube with black cardboard to block out visible light, just to be neat and careful. But the moment he turned the machine on, something impossible happened. Across the room, a small fluorescent screen began to glow. No direct light, no connection, no logical reason. Physics had just raised its hand and said, excuse me? But this is where it gets weird. Röntgen turned the machine off, the glow vanished. He turned it back on, the glow returned. He moved objects between the tube and the screen, books, wood, metal. The glow kept shining. Then, out of pure curiosity, he placed his hand in the path of the invisible rays. On the glowing screen, he saw it, the dark outline of his bones. Not a drawing, not a reflection, his actual skeleton moving inside his living hand. In that moment, Röntgen realized he was looking at something no human had ever seen before. And nobody expects what happened next. Most people would panic. Röntgen didn't. He locked himself in his lab for weeks, barely telling anyone, repeating experiments again and again. He slept there. He ate there. He tested paper, aluminum, lead, flesh, anything he could find. He had no idea what these rays were, so he named them X-rays. X meaning unknown. Basically, science saying, we have no clue what this is, but wow. And that triggered something nobody saw coming. Röntgen decided to capture proof. He placed photographic plates in the path of the rays. And then came the image that shocked the world. The first X-ray photograph ever taken, his wife Anna's hand. You could see her bones. You could see her wedding ring floating like a ghost around her finger. Anna reportedly said, "I have seen my death," which is understandable. Seeing your skeleton while still alive is not a casual experience. This was the turning point. Röntgen published his findings, expecting cautious interest. Instead, the world exploded. Within days, newspapers across Europe and America were screaming headlines about seeing through flesh. People thought it was magic or sorcery or a hoax. Some believed X-rays could read minds. Others feared they could see through clothing. Yes, that panic happened immediately. Fashion companies even advertised X-ray-proof underwear. Humanity never changes. But the scientific impact was immediate and real. Doctors realized they could locate fractures, bullets, kidney stones without cutting patients open. Surgeons could plan operations instead of guessing. During wars, X-rays saved countless lives by quickly finding shrapnel inside soldiers' bodies. Medicine leaped forward almost overnight. And Röntgen? He refused to patent the discovery. He believed it belonged to humanity. No fortune, no monopoly, just impact. Then came the darker lesson. Early researchers didn't know X-rays were dangerous. Doctors used them casually. Some even used them for shoe fittings. Yes, shoe stores once had X-ray machines.
Over time, burns, radiation sickness, and injuries revealed the hidden cost of curiosity without caution. Science had to learn, again, through mistakes. But the real impact came later. Today, X-rays are everywhere. Hospitals, dentists, airports, space telescopes, art restoration. They help detect cancer, guide surgeries, inspect bridges, and even study ancient mummies without unwrapping them. Every time you get an X-ray, you're benefiting from a mistake made in a 19th century lab, a moment when something strange happened and someone chose to investigate instead of ignore it. The takeaway is simple but powerful. Curiosity is humanity's real superpower. Progress doesn't always come from perfect plans. Sometimes it comes from accidents, confusion, and glowing screens that shouldn't exist. And this is not the only interesting hidden history. Subscribe to Curiosity Vault for more accidental inventions, strange discoveries, and unbelievable science stories hiding in plain sight.